Hello, Northeast Warriors. This is a message for the managers. Happy New Year, first off. Welcome to 2014. I wanted to leave a message about our January program right now. And in Olean, I talked about Daring Greatly. It was a book I was reading by Brene Brown. And I talked about that in setting up your mindset for the January campaign. And I want to talk about this because now that we're in the midst of the battle, I think a lot of it applies. If you remember, for those of you in Olean, we often find ourselves in situations where we shy away from opening ourselves up to failure or pain. We do this in relationships, but we also do it with opportunities. I talked about this and I referenced our January program, how you want to attack the program and go after big goals and dare greatly and not worry about opening yourself up to failure and pain. We spoke about how when you dare greatly, you are going to put yourself in situations where you get kicked around a little bit. But those are usually your opportunities to learn and grow. What was important is when you dare greatly that you have a good support network around you, and that you stay positive and you learn from your experiences. These are echoed in other books. You know, John Maxwell talks about failing forward, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I gave that message about the start of January. All right, now we're in the point of January. We're in week one. All right, and in most offices, you have a combination of things going well and things not going well, things breaking down. This is also compounded by the fact that we'll see other offices shoot ahead of us. And we know that other people may be doing a quote, quote, better job than we are in managing their teams, in recruiting, etc. And what starts to happen that I've seen with managers is they start to worry about, what if I miss my goal? Okay, they start to experience that fear of failure. Or they start to have that conversation in their head that I'm not on track, and for a yearly goal or a campaign goal. Our defensive side, and Daring Greatly, Brene Brown talks about, we go on defense to shield ourselves away from failure and pain. So one of the things that we do, we act very cool. This is a middle school response. I don't really care about that, and that often doesn't lead to us actually trying to improve because we're trying to ignore the situation. Another thing that we often do is we hide from someone who could help us, like our division manager, because we're embarrassed about our results and we don't want to confront the situation, and that, again, stops our improvement and stops our progress. The other thing that we can do, though, is we can take it out on others. When a lot of times when we're hurting, we'll start to take it out on other people. This can come across in our PDI with our reps. We crush people or we're short with them. And what happens here is we miss out on really developing some great people who might end up being assistant managers with us. So let me talk a little bit about how we should be approaching this situation and what are our responses so that we can continue to dare greatly. Daring Greatly wasn't just about starting the January program. Daring Greatly was about, now that we're experiencing the first challenges, you need to continue to dare greatly. That's what this message is all about. It's week one of January. We're 4 days into 2014. No one should be giving up on their January goal. There are lots of opportunities for people to go after things, even if you don't feel like you're quote, quote, on track, all right? There are multiple seminars. Many of you will have your top rep launch from this seminar. Some of you will have a rep that launches from the seminar 3 that'll sell $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000. You'll have AM candidates from the next couple seminars that will be AMs with you this summer. And to have that happen, you got to stay focused and on fire and focused on your goals. Let's talk about the fear of missing a goal, all right? What happens if I miss my goal? I mean, Earl, I wrote down that I was going to do 75,000, and this was supposed to be, if you're a veteran, I was supposed to be last year, and let me say something that I tell everybody in Olean. January doesn't make or break your year. There's actually several regions who don't even run a January program like we do. They run January seminars, but they pretty much don't run a slingshot seminar like we do, and they still have a great year. So it doesn't make or break your year. The reason we go after January is because it gives us a chance to have a good start to the year, all right? It allows us to add development candidates. Many of you have heard me say this, that we get people who start in January that wouldn't have started any other time. They wouldn't have worked with us in the summer, but they'll say, you know what, for my winter break, I'll give it a shot. And that adds development candidates. And it also gives us a chance to make extra profits and really make a strong surge to our Campaign 1 bonus. So let me give you an example of how I would respond. Let's say I'm a manager and my goal was $75,000. And right now I'm not on track in my mind. I'm at, $4,000 for the week, and oh my gosh, for me to hit 75 grand, I had to have a 25 grand week, and I don't think that's going to happen. And all of a sudden, what this manager does is they stop setting goals. That's the person who is hiding from the situation, you know. They stop, you know, giving reports to their manager. That's not the right situation. What you want to do, the right strategy is, you want to say, you know what? All right, let's set a new goal. Okay, let's go after a 15 grand week. All right, what if I only got to $50,000 for the month? What if I had a $15,000 week this week, a $15,000 week next week, and then I put together a string of $10,000 to $15,000 weeks for weeks 3, 4, and 5. I get a 50 grand month. You know, if I'm a 50 grand month, if I'm a new manager, I just qualified for a campaign one $3,000 bonus. If I'm a veteran manager, I'm halfway pretty much to my campaign one $4,000 bonus. So what matters right now is that you stay focused and you continue to dare greatly with your opportunities. You know, have fun, smile. I got a couple quick tips for you on how I would be approaching this week. Number one, as you already heard me say, have a goal and break it down. Think to yourself, look at all the people on your team, do a breakdown and figure out what you can be for the week, and then break it down to a short-term goal. Where can you be at by Friday night? You know, or maybe it's by Saturday morning. And then have a demo creation goal for Saturday morning to really ramp up the weekend. Target people as part of that goal. Who could be your top 5 reps? Have that as a focus. That's tip number 1. Keep setting your goals. Tip number 2, run a good second seminar. All right. A second seminar is much like our July seminars. You might launch less people, but they can many times sell more than a previous seminar because they're being launched into a period of success. There's going to be candidates selling. There's going to be reps that they can meet in training. And as you run training, make sure you get some of the new reps to stop by to talk about their experiences when they launch their first weekend. So tip number 3. Make sure you start talking to people on Friday, Saturday, Sunday about division meeting and why this meeting is going to be great and how much they're going to learn and how it's going to help them maximize their income for the rest of the break. Give specific examples of people they'll hear from. Your division meeting attendance can greatly affect the rest of your January. It'll tie people in until they go back to school for the students that are going away. It'll get people thinking bigger about what they can do. They'll see other people's reports and they'll have the attitude of, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. Your division meeting attendance can have a big key to you getting to that original January goal, because I've seen a lot of offices leave the division meeting and have their best week after the division meeting. And tip number 4, keep your recruiting intensity up. You know, keep your PR program. All of you should have a better PR program this upcoming week than you probably had last week. And the reason for that is you got some kinks out. You hadn't run the PR program in a while. Now you ran it. Let's do a better job this week. Can you set more people for training in week 3 than you did in week 2? I believe that you can, even though you might get some less PR names because you're better, you're stronger. Let's keep going after it. Take advantage of your January. Dare greatly. That's how you're going to build yourself a great year. Even if you don't hit every single goal, you're going to build yourself a great year by daring greatly, learning from mistakes, improving yourself, and you're going to surprise yourself too. You're going to find you're going to create solutions where you didn't see them happening. So thanks for your time. Let's get off to a great start to 2014.